Tune.
It is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Tricky that, mate. I tell you.
I only found out about this streaming platform a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, right.
I was trying to get an alternative to StreamYard, and it was actually it's actually really good. I think, especially for the price of the stuff it offers you.
What is it?
It's called Talk Studio Streamlabs.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's a bit OBS, isn't it? Have you had to set it all up yourself or not?
I would say it's very similar actually to StreamYard. It actually
Oh,
gives
right.
you more offers.
Does it?
Yeah, like offers you more than StreamYard would. So
right, because honestly, the prices have gone ridiculous, haven't they? I think they all think football vloggers, making millions. It's just, it's not the case, is it? You barely make anything on it, do you? Unless you got, I don't know, you need about 200,000 subscribers to make money. So yeah, they want to charge you. How much does yours go up to? About
started charging like nearly touching about £40.
£40 a month, yeah. £40 a month.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And bear in mind, when I first got it, it was only £18.
Yeah, exactly. And even that, at the end of the day, you're paying for it all out your own money. You're not really making any money with, unless you do better than me and you got sponsorship. But so far I make about a tenner every game. It costs me like 20 odd pounds to go, petrol, and then I edit videos through till I don't know how long it takes you to edit a video, but mine take me about 8 hours, to do a video, and you've got to get them on the next day.
Yeah,
it's one of the things that when you're a football vlogger, anybody, we're going to bore them to pant. Anybody watching this doesn't know about football vlogging, but you kind of have to get the match on as quick as you can, haven't you? You know what I mean? Because with football, there's always the next game and the next game and the next game. So people watch your video for like this one game and then the next game, and then they don't watch that anymore. Whereas if we were teaching you how to build a house, you'd watch all the videos, I had to go on YouTube because Jane wanted me to drill a hole in a wall on our conservatory, and the wall was obviously the house brick. And I'm like, how do I bloody drill into brick? I haven't got a clue. I don't do DIY. So I had to go on YouTube and search a video, and there's this guy saying that, this is how you do it. Anyway, moving on to football, which is people in the chat. Yes, Luton are playing Blackpool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you to everyone that was waiting inside the chat as well. And as you can see pinned, we do have memberships now. It was recommended to me by YouTube themselves to actually put them on now. So they are there. 2 people have joined so far. So if anyone else can join and help the channel out, that'd be much appreciated. But yeah, the game itself, I mean, Blackpool, let's start off by talking about I guess our time when we last spoke to each other. See, we were on the path of going to the Premier League,
going up, and we were on the path going the opposite direction.
Yeah, and now we're both in the same league. In League One, we was both in the Championship then.
Yeah,
a lot's changed. A lot has changed from our end in particular. Obviously, back-to-back relegations. It's never really good. Premier League. Let's be honest, we were always expected to go down, but the Championship last year, that was not acceptable. It's as simple as that. When the players come out and said they had the expectations, and it was sort of I would say a bit of arrogance really going into it. They expected to just climb the league and walk the league essentially, and obviously it went to not great.
Yeah, the Championship is not easy, is it? It's not an easy league, and like you say, you're at the moment. Are you still in the old ground? You haven't done your new ground yet, or is it being built or whatever?
So it's being built. We're still at the old ground, but when we moved to the went to the Premier League, sorry, we had to extend
that side. You knocked it down and stuff. So what was your capacity when you actually got that down? And because if I remember, there's just a very tight sort of back alley sort of thing. I remember walking around.
Still like that.
There's an old bed, an old mattress and everything down it. I'm thinking, oh my God. So is that all still there? So you didn't go any further with it? You just
so that's still there.
Those boxes and stuff.
What we've changed is, so obviously when you would have went, obviously to the left of you would have seen boxes of where people were watching the game. So they've took that out now, and it's just basically a stand.
Right, okay. So there's no boxes anymore.
No boxes anymore. So we had to change that up for Premier League requirements. But going back to last year, Obviously, we had Rob Edwards, who got us obviously promoted.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing with him is we most of us as fans felt he should have went after that Middlesbrough game. We lost 5-1. It was an early kickoff, and you know the way he was talking after the game sounded like he sort of thought he was going to go himself. And we just, you know, there was just results that just weren't. There was no progression. If we were winning games, it was narrow, but it wasn't narrow in the sense of, like, for example, where we went to you guys last and we won 1-0 and it was a very good defensive display in the second half. It wasn't that type of grit and determination. It was just more, we were lucky, essentially. And in the end, you know, we persisted with him too long. I think we gave him like 2 months after that. And then, yeah, we gave Bloomfield, obviously, a try we've got now, obviously from Wickham, obviously was doing very well with them.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get results at the start. I think it took like 7 games or something for him to get a result, like a win. But there was progression, especially defensively. But yeah, I mean, when it come down to the vital game in the end, which was obviously the last game of the season against West Brom,
Right.
defended like we did half of the season. To be quite honest with you, I conceded 5, scored 3 really good goals, but just couldn't defend in that game. And ultimately, that is the reason we're back in League One.
It's just weird, isn't it, when it goes on the slide, you know, when things go wrong, it's like it's really hard to get out of, you know, the problems that you're in. It seems impossible, you know. There just is a, like we tend to call it here, like a general malaise, you know what I mean, of the entire club and the squad. It's just like, I don't know. I get really mad with Blackpool. I got very mad in the Championship. In fact, it was one of the videos where I had to go and talk to the club about it because I made a few mistakes. But my main point of the video was when normally, and you've probably seen it loads of times yourself, when you're like up near the top of the league and you're playing a team that's like battling at the bottom of the league, they're quite often hard to beat, aren't they? You know, they're fighting for their lives. And my dad, you know, we go to games before, you know, my dad would go, oh God, you know, this is going to be hard. You know, teams at the bottom fighting for their life. They're hard to beat. And then we get beat, you know, they win. And we'd come out and he'd be like, oh, you know, I told you it wouldn't be easy tonight, you know. And when we went down out of the Championship, we just looked like a team that couldn't be arsed. You know what I mean? We were like the easiest lay down win for anybody. You know, if they were playing Blackpool, it was guaranteed 3 points. We just weren't good enough. And I was disappointed, you know, in that way. And I don't know whether Luton were the same, whether they just kind of went down with a whimper rather than sort of going, you know, down fighting. I mean, did they fight for it, or did you think they just weren't really trying?
So the problem with us towards the end, like I say, since Bloomfield come in, was obviously we took ages to actually get a win.
Right.
And then there was a game we had, I think it was Portsmouth at home. We won 1-0 and we sort of felt, oh, okay, this could be the turning point. And we had that in the Premier League as well. We beat Bournemouth at home and we thought, okay, we need to capitalise on that now. And we got a very, very good chance. But then the results after, we just didn't follow up. And that has been our problem. And that last game of the season, like I say, you know, even the selections, I have to be honest, with Matt Bloomfield in that game. I mean, Cal Naismith, we recalled him. We've got him again permanently. He's been at the club now 3 times. He's our captain. He wasn't playing in the final game of the season, where we looked better defensively in the previous games where he was playing. We played Amari Bell, who's now been shipped out to Charlton, and you know he is doing very well there. Previous manager Nathan Jones obviously got him at Luton as well. But yeah, it was just we just capitulated on the final game of the season, and it was a shame because we scored 3 really good goals in that game. But
yeah,
just ultimately defensive
yeah,
disaster.
Terrible. So, like from your journey in the Premier League and the players you signed, and you know, did you spend a lot of money, or did you kind of do a Blackpool and just kind of spend as little as possible and just hope to keep as much
It's
money?
quite funny because I remember when we spoke about this last time, and you obviously mentioned if we go to the Premier League, you know, basically try not to do what you guys did, and it was quite similar actually. To be fair, we didn't.
No, I thought it was the right. I thought what we did was right. What Blackpool did was right. They kind of didn't, you know, we didn't spend a lot of money. We didn't. Well, our highest signing was DJ Campbell, which was 1.7 million, but there was a release clause. If somebody came in for 1.7 million, you know, he went down. So he kind of went for 1 point. You know, we sold him for the one. You know, obviously, that clause was somebody activated it, and you know, so it cost nothing basically. But all the rest of the players were really, you know, borrowed from the Championship and all this sort of stuff, and we just gave it a go. And I I at that time thought that the Oysons had the same idea as I would have, which I would have thought, give it a go, don't spend a lot of money, take, we're guaranteed £96 million, which it's even more now, but we would have never made £96 million over the next 30 years, you know what I mean? So it was a massive amount of money, and I thought they'd use that £96 million in the Championship, because that's where I think the value's there, isn't it? Compared to like buying players, unless you've got a billion, like Forest, they've got this multi-billionaire again, haven't they? They're just spending money for fun, and they had problems with spending too much money, didn't they? They bought too many players, but the best way is to take that money and you are using it well. You're building a new stadium, which will be beneficial to you. Somewhere else,
yeah.
It's always going to give you more chance now. And when players come to see the setup, and I don't know if you're doing a training ground or the rest of it, but when people come to see the setup, they're going to think, wow, this is a club on the up, and that should attract better players. But if you keep all that money and you're buying players, say in this league, you're not spending 60 million on them, are you? You know what I mean? But how many of those players that you had in the Premiership are now still with you, or have they all gone? All those players.
I think from memory, we've only got two now. Jordan Clark, who's scored a goal in the 90 minutes in the playoff final. We got him for free, and he's always been, Mr. Reliable. He was injured on the weekend. Hopefully he's back for this game, because I remember when we won against you guys 3-0, and I was at that game, and he was really, really influential in that game. So hopefully he's back for this game, but I'm not too sure.
Right.
And James Shea, which is one of our goalkeepers, he's our backup goalkeeper. He's been here for like years.
Right.
He's basically actually been with the team since
you're like non-league and all the way.
Has
he gone all the way up and gone?
I think it was League Two,
and then right? So so he's been with you, back all the he's been with you the whole journey. It's weird how you've double dipped. You know what I mean? You would have not thought they would have double dipped, but I get the feeling that they're more concentrating on getting the infrastructure better, than actually the team. But the trouble is, it's as an owner, we had this problem when we started, this fall from grace from the Championship. We got ourselves in the Championship. We did it. We had a great first season. Critchley left us in the summer, and we had Michael Appleton back. But the owner of the club, due to the price, like all the building prices have gone up, haven't they? Everything's more expensive now to build because of COVID and all the rest of it. And he basically said that he had to build a training ground, and the price of that had gone up, from whatever it was, like 8 million to 20 million or something, the cost of the project. And then he also needed to finish the other standoff, which you're going to be in that side. It's like it's weird. It's like it's a permanent temporary stand. It was built for the Premier League. It's all pile driven in, and it's supposed to be, the idea was that it would eventually be built on and could be made into a permanent stand. But it is permanent. It's, although the seats are on stanchions, but it was coming up for its it was the end of its safety certificate. It'd been 20 years or whatever. So he basically said, I've got to do the training ground, and I've got to do the stand, which is all going to cost 50 million rather than whatever. So I haven't got the money to invest in the team, is what he said. I can't spend all money on the team. I've got to get these things done. And that's what he announced. And from the moment he announced that, we've gone downhill. You know what I mean? It's just, we've got relegated out of the Championship. We're in the League One. We're now third off the bottom in League One, and it's just going backwards. And for me, when he got involved with the football club, he bought in, he got it cheap because it was all, because of the court case and everything else. It was there to be bought for a song. I think he bought it all for 8 million. Anyway, so he got on the cheap, but as an owner, you've got to concentrate on the football. That's what we're all bothered about. And at the end of the day, yes, stands and stadiums and training grounds, it's all nice. We want all that, but if the football's no good, that affects your life, doesn't it? It affects your weekends. It just kind of like ruins your life, doesn't it? When, you just want the football to be great. And I think whether Luton have done a similar thing where they've concentrated more on the ground and they've not really, concentrated or focused on the football. And I don't know, are you guys suffering, or are you not as bothered as us because you've had a kind of a wonderful journey? And
we're at that stage now where a lot of fans were getting frustrated because we haven't been great this year. As much as we're in I think it's 10th and a few places off playoffs. If we win on Tuesday, we can be in the playoffs. Overall, it's not been good enough based on the sense of we've had one good decent performance the whole season, and that was against Burton, who with all due respect to them, they look nailed on to go down already without their playing. And I know they were in a relegation battle last year. They done well in the end to stay up, but it's one good performance from us, and there's sort of that, as there should be. I feel that sort of expectation from us in the sense of, we went attack heavy in the transfer window. Right. We did lose a centre back, which, I mean, a lot of fans are 50-50. Me personally, I was very stunned, I guess is the word to say, when we lost him. Mark McGuinness, he went to Sheffield United. And he was nailed on to be probably a regular starter in our team for us. But, we went attack heavy. And the attackers we've got, especially in terms of, the options we can bring off the bench when certain players don't start is quality. But the problem with us is we've started a lot of games slow. We've been sloppy in possession. The last two games before yesterday, we were giving away individual errors, errors that we just shouldn't be doing.
Sounds like us.
Just shouldn't be doing at all. So there is, fans are getting frustrated. And after every post-match where the manager comes out, the person asking the questions was sort of like, it was all, I'll be honest, it was all PR. It wasn't, there wasn't asking, I guess, pressurized questions. Whereas when we lost to Lincoln last week, so Three Counties, which is our local radio who used to do it on when we had Nathan Jones, they come out and done it with Bloomfield last week. And there was sort of that, I guess, transparency. And a lot of people were happy with that because, they actually asked pressurized questions.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It made the owner
come out. Want to ask.
yeah, exactly. It made the owner come out this week and have his own speak on Three Counties about the stadium, the future stadium, and things like that. So there is a little bit of pressure, and there was massive pressure on the manager this weekend. I mean, if we didn't win this game, especially with the games obviously we got coming up after you guys, we've got
you got to shoe in on Tuesday, so you'll be all right.
I mean, the games after. Me personally, I'm not going to underestimate you guys. Me personally, I remember when we went last time, it might be different. You might feel a Blackpool fan, but I just think it's always difficult to go to. Especially a midweek game for me. And I remember last time we had to grind out that 1-0 win, and I think you guys were in a similar position in the sense of near the bottom as well back then, if I'm correct. Maybe it's when
we would be, yeah. Was it near the back end of the season? I can't remember. I can't remember. I mean,
I think it was about half.
We did get relegated when you got promoted, so
because that was my last game live seeing Nathan Jones, and then he had one game after, and then he went to Southampton at the time. So yeah, and that was a sort of good defensive display performance. We had to grind out that win.
We were unlucky. We personally, from my own point, from what I watched, we were kind of unlucky at Luton, really, to be honest. And we were unlucky, and then we were kind of lucky at the end. If you remember, I remember it really well, because did we get a penalty? Can't remember. We went 1-0 up anyway, didn't we, in the first half? And then you equalised from a free kick right on half time. Whereas Stephen Dobby in charge, he was just taking over.
Yeah, you thinking of the game at our place?
Yes, at your place. Yeah, I'm talking about. I was there, and so we're 1-0 up, and we just you get a free kick on the edge of the box, and of course you score it, and you go in 1-1, and then you came out guns blazing. You got one pretty. I think we lost
3-1. It was in the end. I remember
3-1. Yeah, but it's just that turning point there. Yeah, that turned it. That free kick at half time. If we could have just hung on, we may have had a chance. And we need, just one point at it. kept us up, probably. You know what I mean? But it's just, yeah, it was just, but it's just how it goes when you're near the bottom. You know what I mean? When you or when you're in the bottom three, things just don't go your way. You know, and you also, when you're top of the league and flying, you seem to get things in. You know, things happen, don't they? It's like, I would say, it's weird how the actual games pan out over the season. So, you know, you can play. Say we were playing Bradford City yesterday, and they're top of the league. You could go and play them when you're playing them in January, and the wheels have fallen off and they're struggling and they haven't won a game for 5 games, and you just go and beat them. You know what I mean? So it's when you meet teams sometimes, you know, whether they're in form or not in form, or, you know, whether they're top of the league or whether, they're not in that position when you play them. And sometimes it's just that way it pans out. And you seem to find, you know, like when you're top of the league, it just seems to go that you get a lot of easy games. And it obviously it's down to the fact that you're playing well, but there's just this, it just needs to go in your favor, and it goes the completely opposite way when you're struggling. It just does. I don't know why. I watch it for a long time. I think when you're really struggling at the bottom of the league, you need a miracle to get out of it. And, you know, we're already in big trouble. You know, we are in big trouble already. So where are you in the league? I was just...
We're 10th. But like I say,
yeah, you're 10th.
We do manage to get a win.
We'd give anything to be 10th at the moment.
We can be... I think if we win, we can be 6th. Because obviously this is a game in hand for both of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I say, that game I was referring to.
Yeah, you'd be on 18 points, wouldn't you? So you would go 6 equal with, you know, equal 6, maybe go above them on goal difference, but you and an AFC Wimbledon, yeah. Whereas we are just, honestly, if we go any lower, we're going to drop off the coop, and never mind the bloody league. We're just getting lower. They get any lower, they'll drop off the coop, and so it's not good. It's not good. It's we have got a game in hand, so like you say, you know, we're looking at the same thing. If we could win it, you know, we'd actually go up to, well, we'd have 10 points. Yeah. So we'd go to 18th, which would be a big, it is a big game for us. It's a massive game. And the trouble is we've just got so many injuries. You know, we've got Ennis, you know, Ennis is like our best striker, you know, he's injured. We just got Josh Bowler. I know you had him, didn't you? But did you have him there? But he didn't play him very much. But like, it was a weird thing with Josh Bowler, because Josh Bowler, he, you know, Jane and my partner, for anybody, just loves him. You know what I mean? She loved him. He's one of those players that gets the ball and goes at people, and he goes in, out, you know, and you never know which way he's going to go. And sometimes, you know, fans got his back because he's always trying, and sometimes, you know, you lose the ball, don't you? You know, if you're going to go at play, you can't beat him every time. So he does lose the ball, but I like to see a player that's prepared to go. You know, because we all watch, you know, pass, pass, back, you know, cross back. You just think, God, for God's sake, you know, just they're trying to work the way through, aren't they? And defenses, I always think, are, you know, pretty savvy, and they kind of know how to defend when teams keep passing around. You just keep them back. But when a player's running at you and he's trying to turn you inside and outside, it's a nightmare for a defender. So if you've got a player like that, and that's how Josh Bowler was. And when we sold him, Forest came in for him, and they bought him on the very last day of the transfer window, and they bought him for £6 million. And I've been having conversations with the Forest YouTuber, been on there, and they had a player, I can't think of his name now, but he was like really tipped to be like the next best thing, and they reckon they're going to get 20 million for him. And I thought Bowler was better than him. I thought, you know, in my opinion, I thought he was a better player. I thought he was more exciting, everything. And we sold him for 6 million, but then they bought him off us and they sent him straight out to Greece. So he didn't even play for Forest. They paid for him and sent him out to Greece, because the guy who owns Forest owns a team in Greece as well. So he goes out to Greece, and then he didn't really get in there. And then, and it's gone from like being, you know, he had his own song and everything, you know, at Blackpool. He was just like we just adored him, you know, although, you know, he would lose a ball, but, you know, he's one of the fans' favourites, got everybody out there, you know, it kind of lifts you out your seat, doesn't it? When they're running direct and everything. You know, he scored some great goals, did some brilliant things. And then he just went on loan. They sent him to loan to Preston, the Nobbers, which didn't go down very well. with us, you know what I mean? So, but they never really played him, and then he came to you, and I don't think you really played him. And I saw the video; they actually released him from his contract and let him go. So he's made a bit of money because he was on like 30 grand a week at Forest, but playing the reserves all the time. So, but he's come back and he was so excited to come back because he kind of just remembers his time here has been absolutely fantastic, and he's never had a better time, even though obviously the money's not as much here, and he's probably got about 4 million in the bank, so he's not bothered. And he's got injured straight away. I don't think he'll be playing. And we signed a lad called Banks. We got him from Sam Powley. Very exciting. He's got injured. We've got George Honeyman. You've probably heard of him.
Yeah, I think he's a decent player.
And he's a decent player. He's injured.
Yeah.
It's just all like first teamers. James Husband, who's like, the club captain, injured. It's just like, really important cogs in the wheel. And it's just, I think I was saying to you before, he probably, you see it as well. You said you were getting lots of injuries, but we can't seem to get through 90 minutes without somebody being like carried off every game. You're like, oh my God, just every game somebody either, somebody fouls them really bad, or, those ones where they just go down. There's nobody around. You think, oh God, that's serious, isn't it? When they suddenly just like go down, there doesn't seem to be anything around. It's normally like the bloody, they've caught the boot on a bit, like a bit of grass, and it's kind of done the bloody cruciate ligaments in or something. You know what I mean? It's always serious, isn't it? When there's like, you just think, God, what, why is he down?
Yeah.
Because it's like serious. He's just done something to himself.
We actually had that when we went to you guys last. Dan Potts, our left back at the time,
right?
He got injured, and it was similar to what you were saying there.
Just,
sort of
like, nobody around him. He just goes down. You think, what?
Yeah.
And it's because he's like he's turned, or his ankle's gone over, when they're running or something, or done a turn, or they slipped on something. It's normally those. I hate those. I hate that. When there's nothing around. But so we've got a few on long-term injuries, and we're just struggling. We are. It's kind of painful to. Bruce is insisting on playing 4-4-2. And we seem to, everybody who comes is kind of playing like 3 in midfield against us. And so we're always like 2 in midfield and 2 wingers, you know what I mean? And we seem to get overrun in midfield, and we just don't take grip of the game consistently. We're always sort of struggling to kind of get on top of a team. We're always on the back foot. We're always defending, and it's just not good. It's not, we won the other game that we played at home. Yeah, the Barnsley game, the last one, and we scored a winner in the like 98th. Well, it was like 10 seconds to go. I mean, and it was such a frustrating game. We should have had a penalty. There was like in one incident, they pulled Fletcher's shirt back in the box, didn't give a penalty. Then there was another thing, and they upended Dennis in the box, and they didn't give a penalty. You're just thinking, it's just not your day, you know what I mean, on another day. And then we scored, a 98th minute winner. I mean, the place went absolutely mental. All the frustration of all the games, and the fact that we actually thought that we were gonna be near the top this season, because for the first time, when I was talking about Simon Sadler saying he didn't have the money to invest, he spent more than he's ever spent this summer. He's gone a bit mental, to be honest. And so you're thinking, wow, God, they're actually going for it this season. Are they going to try and get out of this league? And we were really, really excited about it. And I can't believe where we are, really, from how excited we were. We got signings really early. We took the captain from Stockport, although they say he's not the captain, but centre half from Stockport. And we got this Ihekwe from Sheffield Wednesday in, and we've got George Honeyman in, and we just seem to be really going for it. And we'd signed more than we've ever signed for ages. We normally just 1 or something in the summer. Endless days of looking on the internet, see if we signed anybody. No, we haven't. And so it all looked good. I do a show with Pickle, who sits next to me. We do it together, and we started doing like a monthly review show. And our pre-summer one was all full of, we were so full of excitement, thinking minimum it's going to be playoffs. Can we get automatic? flipping it, we're going to be we're completely, we're battling the other end. It's a relegation battle already. So,
God, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I actually thought you guys would have a, I guess a shout for the playoffs. Like you said, you've done your business early. I thought Honeyman was. I know obviously you say he's injured, but I thought he was a good signing to bring in.
Yeah,
quite similar to me to a player we've brought in. Who actually played for Millwall as well. I know you guys did get him from Hull, if I'm correct.
No, we got it from Millwall.
Oh, it was Millwall. Sorry. Yeah, we had a player actually from Millwall that's come into us, and they're quite similar. George Saville. I think they're quite similar players. They're both more obviously defensive minded. Like to get a tackle in.
Yeah, get a tackle in.
Yeah,
I watched videos of him. He looked so, Honeyman. He looked, I saw a video where he had one tackle, then he had another tackle, and he got on another one, and he chased it all the way down to the line. And you're thinking, wow, that's the kind of player you want, isn't it? Somebody who's going to get stuck in like that. Oh, just a bunch of bloody fairies half the time. They don't get stuck in. It's just, you don't want to play a kind of tries, he makes a run as if he's gonna maybe get there, and then just kind of jumps and back, and doesn't really go in. You know what I mean? He doesn't really make the tackle. You think, God, you could have got that if you just, we've got a lot of them. We have a lot of them that just back out of the tackle. They just don't quite make it, to the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be the same. I'm not, you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't know where you watch football from, but I watch it behind the goals. And one of the reasons I always like to watch it from behind the goals, because I like to see the ball coming in at me. If it's coming in the net, and it's coming in. And I don't like watching it from a side, because you're constantly looking, aren't you, from side to side, watching it that way. Whereas when you sit behind, you just watch the game, don't you? You don't, it's just right all in front of you. So I like it like that. But sometimes I do go, well, on the cup games, they don't open the ends because there's not enough people go. So you just sit on the side. And there's been a couple of times where I've been sat, sort of like, behind the manager's sort of benches, that sort of area, right on the halfway line. And God, when you see football quite close, low down in that position, you're thinking, oh my God, they're going in. You don't, when you're up in the, this in the top of the stand, you don't really see like how gladiatorial it is at times, and how they do go in, and so that's a rough old tough old game. I mean, you remember it from school. You can get injured, and I'd be the same. I wouldn't, there's no way I'm gonna be getting bloody injured, me. I'd be one of those that just doesn't quite make it to the ball. But yeah, no, it's just so frustrating that we have players like that, and the ones that are like get stuck in like Honeyman are injured. So we're just, honestly, we're just like, we've got a mattress on our back, we're laying down, what's called a lay down for 3 points for you, because we are just so bad. I can't, honestly, I have no hope whatsoever for Tuesday. I don't, especially with the injuries. I just don't. I was, after that, after that late winner, I'm thinking, this is it. This is the moment. This is the season's, the season starts now. And we got beat straight away. So another false dawn.
One player I'm interested to see your thoughts on so far since he's come in, and I'm sure a few Luton fans will be interested because we were linked with him on the hunt for another striker. Is Dale Taylor. How's he been so far since he's come in? Not so great.
Well, I can't, honestly, I can't fault anybody who's a striker at Blackpool, because they just don't get any service. You know what I mean? If they actually got the ball to them now and again, we send a lot of aimless balls to nobody. We have this pass around the back, launch a ball forward to nobody. And it's, you see the forwards just running around, making runs, doing things. And in the end, you can just see the enthusiasm just drains out the bottom of the boots as the game goes on, because they're just getting nothing. So I can't really criticize him. He scored a great little goal in the cup. We beat Barrow 5-0. The first time Bowler's first. He only did like a 25-minute cameo, and he was electric. He put a ball through as to Taylor, who just like chipped. Fourth goal, he just dinked it over the keeper. It was just like beautiful. So he's got it in him, but I don't know. I don't think he's the same sort of player as Ennis. I don't think he's as good as Ennis. I really do like Ennis. I think he's one of my favourites. He's great, but they're both like quite short and the similar. I think Ennis will probably beat him in a race, but they're kind of the same. But we have Ash Fletcher, who you did mention Ash Fletcher, and he's a big tall guy. Can't jump very high for the height of him, but he's a good player, and I always think that really they need to be with him. It needs to be Fletcher and Ennis or Fletcher and Taylor. And Steve Bruce keeps doing the same thing. He keeps taking Fletcher off and then he'll bring one of them on. So they're playing together again. And there's not been many games because the preferred partnership is still Fletcher and Ennis. So now Ennis is injured. It's going to be Fletcher and Taylor. So maybe we might see more of him now. And he'll probably just, play phenomenal on Tuesday and get a hat trick and stuff you after all I've said. Because I honestly, as a pundit, I'm not a pundit, I tell you. I never get it right. I never get it right. I'm hopeless. I think we're going to lose. I do think we are going to lose. I'm not holding a lot of hope out. Sorry, Blackpool fans, if you're tuning in on this, but you will see it on my match preview as I'm walking to the ground that I don't think we can win. Because I just don't. So I've just had no hope at all in this team. I've never been this it's just years of it consistently, being bad that you just can't see an end to. There's no light at the end of the tunnel here. There might be illuminations, but there's no lights here. It's all darkness. It's all deep, dark depression.
No, I know what you mean, especially with us experiencing back-to-back relegations the last 2 years. And the thing is as well, going back to when you said about the strikers not being able to quite get the service, it's been like that a lot for us in games this year, especially the two before yesterday's. The midfield was just so open. You basically just had George Saville doing the work and there was no other midfielders, and then the strikers weren't getting the service unless we were somehow getting a penalty like we did against Plymouth. And it's very frustrating. So
what's turned round just in time for us? This is what I'm saying about when you play teams, you know what I mean? We could have played you last week and you're terrible. Well, now you're going to win a game. So so what was the difference?
For us, it's like I say, the pressure from, I guess, the fans really, making the owner come out, not literally, but, he felt like he had to come out and talk on Three Counties radio. The manager, a lot of us are saying we need to play a back four. We feel it's much more beneficial. We finally played a back four on, obviously, yesterday, and we won. It's just things like that. And there was a lot of pressure on the manager going into this game because he's had more than enough time now. Obviously, he's been there, since last year as well. And he nearly kept us up. It weren't, I guess, other than not putting the captain in on the final day, it weren't really his fault why we didn't stay up. It was more so the players, I would say, and obviously the higher ups persisting with Rob Edwards previously of how long they did. But there was a lot of pressure on him, and I think the formation change is what's massively helped us because we haven't exactly got a right back right now because they're all injured. However, we've got players that can play there, and the thing is with us, and it goes back to what I said earlier, because we're so attack heavy and we've got great attacking options. We're sort of at that stage where we basically can have 4 options on each side of the left or right side for like a 4-4-2, basically. So that's massively beneficial. And, we've got more than enough strikers, even with strikers out. And going back to what you said earlier about Premier League players, we've actually got 2 strikers that we had in the Premier League that are injured. So I completely forgot about them because they haven't been in the team since last year.
They'll still be getting big wages, won't they? They'll still be paying for wages. That's the problem, isn't it? Double dip out the Premier League. It can really cost you a lot of money in wages. So maybe there's that. So it's going to be. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a cracking game. It really does. you lot can't find a player. We can't find a player. Oh God, maybe maybe we'll just have to rely on coming off a backside of somebody and going in or something. I don't know. Referee getting in the way or something and tripping over one of your players tripping over the ref or something. I don't know. Something. It's funny football because things can just happen, can't they? You can get a man sent off. We can get a man sent. There's no guarantees, is there, that you're going to finish a game with 11 on the pitch, and you never know what the referee is going to be like. We don't seem to have any. We don't get many good referees at Blackpool. They've been on holiday as a kid. Parents took them or something to Blackpool and they hate it. That's how I always feel how they are. They had a really bad childhood memory of being here, and they don't give us much. So yeah, that's it. So really doom and gloom episode for you, isn't it?
I mean, yesterday we had I think his name's Tim Robinson, who's predominantly a Premier League referee. I'm very surprised he was doing a game in League One, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, sometimes we don't really have the luck of the officials as well. Obviously, we've got that massive flag in the stadium, slandering the FA because when they deducted us them points all them years ago. And things like that. So yeah, there is a hatred with us and the FA. So yeah, no, there is that as well. But yeah, in terms of this game, like you say, not too confident going into the game. So yeah, you might as well give me a score prediction for this game.
I'm just going to hope that we get a draw out of it, so I'm going to go for just like a 1-1. that would be at least we see a goal, and get a draw. I can't honestly. I don't. Yes, I never predict a draw. No, that's it. That's it. Naomi calls them out. 1-1 on the fence sitting.
Fair enough. I remember last time we did this predictions. You was not happy with Blackpool then. You said you hope for us to get 2 own goals. I think you said in it to go and win the game. As for me,
sounds like me.
The problem I have is us needing to get a win. I feel we need to get a win because the game we've got, particular on Saturday, is Stevenage, which is whether you like to call it or not, it is a local derby. They're right up, they're right up there this year, doing much better than a lot of people anticipated.
We lost to them, straight away.
I saw that. Didn't you guys go 1-0 up in that as well?
Yeah, we gave them like 3 goals. We honestly, when you just give, we gave a back pass straight to the striker. Then we did
really well, actually. I think.
Then right on half time, Ihekwe, or however you say it, just jumped with his arm up and did a fantastic handball, so a penalty right on half time. Then we got a goal back, and then they did we get a goal back? Well, they may have got a third before we even got a goal back. But the keeper just basically just cleared it like 10 yards straight to the player, who then just scored. It just honestly, it was, you couldn't actually believe what you were watching. You know what I mean? I think we lost 3-2 in the end, didn't we? They gave us, it was 3-2, wasn't it? Yeah, 3-2. They kind of gave us our goals as well, to be honest. It was just, honestly, but all the things that we needed to do, and I was like, God, coming out bloody, you're expecting Stevenage, right, to be bottom of the league or something, really. You expect them to be struggling, don't you? You don't see them as a sort of a team that's going to
mid-table at best, really.
Yeah, exactly, and to kind of just lose to them, but then now looking at it, they're all right, aren't they? They're all right. They're doing okay, aren't they?
Yeah, and like I say, going into that game, like we say, they're right up there. They're doing really well. So for us, I feel we have to try and carry on the momentum, because something we have struggled with, especially this season, is getting them back-to-back wins and things like that. And as much as I don't feel it was a vintage performance, in our 1-0 win against Doncaster, there was definitely improvements. It's just the attacking area which we need to improve on. But for this game, I'm going to say 1-0, similar to the game when we played last time. I think you guys will have a few moments, but I do think we can grind out a 1-0 win, hopefully. Hopefully get 2 wins in a row and then go into that Stevenage game. And that, like I say, that'll be difficult, because even when they were in League Two, when we last played them in the League Cup, we drew 2-2 in normal time. I think we were a championship team then, actually. And so it went 2-2, then it went to penalties. We lost 3-0 on penalties. Didn't even put a penalty on target, and they were far worse then than they are now. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. So for me, we need to try and be getting something out of this game. But I do think it will be a tight game.
Yeah, it's we are playing better at home, than we were away. We are away. We're playing terrible away, but still we're not playing great. Even at home, it's not, the atmosphere that normally you would get a blue, the Bloomfield Road. It's the one thing we have normally. We have this tribal, ridiculous, loud noise, and it's kind of weird because all the stands sing. I've been to, we went to all the sort of championship matches the whole season, the first, Jane and I, and most of them were just like libraries, you know what I mean? Or they'd have a singing section somewhere. So even Sunderland, which was disappointing because I was expecting that to be really amazing, and it was. I mean, trust me, it was like proper loud when they, when they were roaring them on. So if they went on attack, you could hear them, but they didn't sing. They didn't sing any songs. You know what I mean? It was just that raw. They might do like a Sunderland or something. You know what I mean? But that would be it. Whereas Blackpool have a song for a corner. Do you know what I mean? We sing a song when we have a corner. We have a corner song. We have that many songs, and everybody sort of sings every stand. So if you're there, you kind of got it at your side, that side, and across the way. You can actually go. We've got some safe standing now in the corner, so like anybody wants to stand, because we put safe standing in at the north end, so that rail seating sort of thing. So that's in the corner. So now we've got bloody away fans in our stand now as well. We didn't have them before. They just they were
just put to the side.
Yeah, they're now in your ear all the time. Blackpool's a shithole. God Almighty, it just does you edit. They were at Barnsley were at it all the game. In fact, I'm walking into the ground, just go through the turnstiles. There's knobheads walking, group of them singing right in my face. Blackpool's a shithole. I wanna go home. And I'm thinking, oh God. And honestly, when we scored that win, I was like, I really was. I really wanted to lose. I didn't want to win. So some people just piss you off, don't they? Some fans really get on your nerves.
I'll tell you one person that won't mind me saying this. He gets so angry when fans do that. Is my dad. He gets so angry whether we're there or he's watching the game. He's just like, just shut up, mate.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's funny. But yeah, I'll tell you one song I did like. Obviously, I know he's long gone now from Blackpool, but the Charlie Patino chant.
Oh, I know, yeah.
That chant.
It was great, wasn't it?
I remember when I
walking his peeing. Charlie Patino.
That was a good one. But what actually happened to him? Just out of curiosity, did he just leave?
Well, he was only on loan. He was only on loan. It was a loan. Okay. You shouldn't sing songs about loan players, really, should you? Because you devastate him. We did it. We did it with that Dembele as well. We had him, and it was, it was the Abavu song with him, Dembele running down the wing. It was just really good, and then they go. Then you lose that song, don't you? You don't have those songs, so it kind of ruins your repertoire of songs. We've had some really good songs. Jerry Yates had a good song. He was the Spirit in the Sky one. Because he was always on. Well, he's there, isn't he, Jerry?
Yeah, he's come to us. He's had a concussion for the last game, so I'm not sure if he's going to be available for Tuesday.
I mean, we love Jerry. Honestly, we just love Jerry Yates here. We wanted him back. We were desperate to get him back, and he's gone to you lot. But because he does, he's a lad. He does go out and about in town and get drunk, so you can't go on the piss with him.
I saw a video of him, he was just messing around, and it was before we signed him. Yeah, and he just went up to the phone and he was saying, I don't even know what he said.
It's proper funny. He's just like,
he is. Yeah,
he's like for the dressing room. He's brilliant. But we were all going on the piss with Jerry Yates, going on up this beer.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, because like I said earlier, we were so desperate for another striker, because obviously we got the others out, like I mentioned, and things like that. And they sort of put a post. It's first game of the season, so on the seats they put number 9, and they were sort of hinting that we're going to get a striker. And I was saying to people before, because I saw slight rumours that it was going to be Jerry Yates, and I was like, yes, let's get him. And when I found out it was, I was delighted. But yeah, for his time so far, he's got 2 goals so far.
Yeah.
But he has struggled. But a lot of that's down to, for me, the service and the way the midfield's been. A lot of people, not really myself, but other fans have been a bit critical of him. I don't think he's been as bad as people say he has. I mean, Lincoln didn't have a great game, but no one had a great game against Lincoln.
He's 100%er. Jerry Yates, he gives it 100%, but he is the only like thing with him is if he goes on a bit of a barren patch of scoring, he loses his it affects him. You can see it affects him, and get a couple of goals and then he's a different player again. He really is effective. He's in how he plays, but he does like battle for everything. He is that kind of player that generally fans would fall in love with, that kind of player. Somebody that actually does what it says on the tin. You want your players to give it 100%, don't you? And he always did at Blackpool. I mean, we just loved him. He should be great in this league, really, to be honest, because he's just struggled in the Championship. Really, he didn't particularly struggle with us. We sold him to Swansea, and we got good money for him. And he was all right in the Championship, but he was like unbelievable in League One. He was just the greatest ever. Just an absolute legend here. You know what I mean? Just an absolute legend. So
yeah, the season that really impressed me with him when he was at you guys was. Unfortunately for you guys, obviously the year you went down, but he got 14 goals. I thought for a team that finished, I think it's 23rd, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's remarkable goals. I think for a team in that position, and obviously, like say, the other times in the Championship wasn't so great. But a problem we have as well with him, and we're not benefiting him in that way, is we are trying to cross the ball. He's not really. I mean, you can probably tell me a bit better, but from what I've heard, he's a player that's not known for scoring headers. And we're trying to play it to his head. He's much better with the ball at his feet, and
something to run on to. He is, he is tricky, Ricky. He can. There was a goal he scored at the north end at Blackpool where he kind of put 2 players on the backside and then scored. Which was amazing. He just took him inside out, and then one went down, the other one went down. They just killed it in the far corner. It was beautiful. You know what I mean? Just one of them like dream goals that you don't see very often. Certainly not at Blackpool anyway. But it was one that stands in my mind as I'm thinking there was more. But yeah, you should love him.
Yeah. Anyway. Like I say, when we actually signed him, people that are with me at the time can back me up. I was delighted, absolutely delighted, because I know he's a player that's more than capable of getting that 20-goal mark. And I know for you guys as well, he had a very slow start one of the seasons, and he was like that for us. But bear in mind as well, we didn't really have a pre-season on top of that for us.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's done all right. And yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be available because he did have a concussion. So I don't know. It depends, how many days he's got to take. And
probably good. It's probably good if he's not available because you know what happens when
they'll score,
previous player comes back, and especially one that that we love. We would have been seeing. We will if he plays. You won't be there, but we definitely will sing Jerry Yates song because we love him. We just love him. Still love him. You know what I mean? You can't fault a player for going. When we get relegated to get the chance to go and play at Swansea. You can't. You're not going to keep him, are you? So it's not like he did the dirty hands or anything. And we got good money for him, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, may the best team win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you said, unfortunately, I'll not be at this game. It's a shame because
a long way.
Before it got rescheduled.
Why is it on a Tuesday?
Yeah, because it got rescheduled, didn't it?
Of course,
the international break, which is annoying. I was actually going to go.
You don't want to come to. It's just a long way, isn't it?
It's
up
different.
North to freeze to death. Although it's lovely today, it's nice. It's been a lovely sunny day, but the nights they're getting cooler. They are getting cooler.
Yeah, like I say, it's
you need your thermals on, guys. If you're coming up, just
yeah.
Don't just come in a shirt and expect you can stand there. Well, you can, but more fill you if you do.
Yeah, like I say, it's a shame because I've been twice, and I'm not even saying it because we've won both times. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I've been obviously Blackpool other than the football as well at
Yeah.
times. And yeah, I've enjoyed it, and it's a shame. It's a shame because it's one game anyone looks at, especially when you're in the same league, whoever you are, and you sort of hope that you play Blackpool when the weather's good and things like that.
Sunny, or it's the
It's not a midweek.
illuminations as well. If it's a good time to come. And there's I don't know. People sing whatever they sing, but if you can't have a good time in Blackpool, then there's something wrong with you, especially on a weekend. If you make a weekend of it, it's just, if you can't, you know what I mean? It's just entertainment. You go on the pleasure beach, you go on the sandcastle, you go on, there's 3 piers, there's a bloody Golden Mile, there's a Stanley Park.
On the big one.
You can go on exactly. You can do the big one. You can go, you can go to the theatre. We've got the Winter Gardens. We've got the Grand Theatre. It's just, that's it. It's just entertainment. That's, it's built on entertainment. That's what we do. And I always think, God, if you can't bloody come and have a good time, then something seriously wrong with you, not us. But Blackpool, it has seen better days, obviously, and there's investment coming in, but it's all very slow. But there's quite there's some nice hotels now you can stay at, Holiday Inns, and there's decent ones. You don't have to stay in an old BM, an old guest house run by Dot Dot on a family or something. You just can stay in a nice hotel. So you can even stay at the ground, because there's a nice hotel there. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, a few of my mates actually done that when we last played, I think it was. But yeah, so I've been twice. So I went when we won 3-0. The weather was awful that day. It was windy, it was raining, and yeah, it just weren't great. But we did get a win, which was good. But I made the weekend out of that. And then the other time we went, I had to come back. But I went with my dad and my dad's mate. And we got up really early, obviously, went on the day. And yeah, like I say, it's a shame because before it got rescheduled, I was looking to go to it. Had everything basically sorted. But yeah, with it being a midweek, it's a bit of a nightmare, like we say. So unfortunately, myself, I will not be there. But there will be a match reaction still to the game, guys. And possibly I'll be able to let you know tomorrow when I do the show with my dad. But I might be able to do a watch along again. So yeah, they might be coming back for this game. But either way, there'll be a reaction. And like I say, me and my dad will get into the Hut Show tomorrow, getting into this game with his thoughts, and obviously giving the player ratings for the game yesterday. So yeah, thank you to everyone that joined. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. 2 new subscribers today as well. So thank you very much for that. Do follow the memberships option as well if you can. And also, Lee, I have put your channel in the title as well, so people do go over and do subscribe. And yeah, just let the people know what you do on there.
Well, obviously, I'm a Blackpool bloody stupid football vlogger for my sins. I don't know why I started doing. Oh God, long story. But I originally set up my channel because I'm a DJ and I was gonna do DJ stuff. I thought, do DJ stuff. And then I had this thing in my head where I'm thinking, I'm not David Guetta, even though I'd like to be David Guetta. And I'm not, I'm not famous enough. Okay, in Blackpool, I've done, clubs and stuff, but I'm not famous enough. And I thought, I can't do DJ. No, who's going to watch that? And then Blackpool came back, from our boycott, and I went and did a stupid video about them, because we had to clean 15,000 seats. We covered all in bird poo and everything, because nobody sat in them for 5 years. We're boycotting the 16,000 people coming to the opening game. So the Fans Trust asked for people, volunteers. I made a video and showed all the poo and everything on it. And then the one show contacted me, and the Quest HD contacted me. Could they use me footage? I thought, wow, this is easy, isn't it? I've chose the right thing here. Forget the DJing. But now I watch, DJs, and they review microphones and DJ booths and lighting and, amplifiers and new speakers and all the rest of it. And they're all, they get sponsorship deals and stuff sent to them. And you didn't have to be David, knowing what I know now, that's what I would rather do that, and then there's no bloody sitting up till 8 o'clock, in the morning, all night long, trying to do a video to get it on first thing in the morning. Because you just do a video in your own time, don't you? You know what I mean? And then it goes up, and everybody's, it's the latest, speakers by whoever, PV or whatever, and everybody's wanting to know, aren't they? And lights and all that stuff. There's always new stuff coming out. You know, I go to the DJ shows in like Birmingham where they have all the latest, you know, microphones and amplifiers and mixing desks and you know mixers and all the rest of it, you know, CDJs, and so that's what I should have done, but too late now. I'm cursed in this stupid thing. So I've got 8,000 subscribers following Little Blackpool. So you know, but 8,000, you might as well not have any. It doesn't make any difference. You need like 800,000 subscribers. And that's a place that is not. I'll tell you what, I'll be doing this for, well, I might get there, you know, if I live another 100 years. So the rate of knots I'm going, got 8,000 in. So yeah, another 100 years and I'll get to 800,000. They'll sing songs about me, you know, 100 years down the line when my channel's gone through the roof or something. I'll be like, you know, one of these, you know, these like artists that, you know, didn't make any money while they were alive, but like now the things go for billions, you know, Picasso or something, you know what I mean? Just something like that. Yeah, I'll be remembered after I've gone. Paul Dexter, Luton 2-0.
Yeah,
you could be right there, Paul.
2-0. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. Like I say, I think it'll be a tight game. I do.
Can't believe he stole our colours, though, all the
time. Especially with the fact it's
tangerine and white. You never were tangerine and white. What do you used to be? What made you change to?
Well, we actually, back in the day, like way before my time, we actually used to wear white as our home kit. And a lot of people, I mean, I think it's a bit overreactionary, but a lot of people did have sort of a meltdown this year because none of our kits are white. And they usually are every year, but I don't really think, you know, as long as it's got some sort of white in it, I don't think it's the worst in the world, to be honest. But yeah.
At least you don't call it tangerine. But we changed, Blackpool changed in the 1930s there. We used to play in light blue and dark blue stripes, and then our chairman at the time, he was a referee, went out to referee Holland playing somebody, and just came back and said, oh, you know, they're playing a really nice, you know, like a tangerine and white strip, and what do you think, you know, should we change from light blue? And they did. That was back in the 30s. So you know, we are the, you know, we still sing, we are the only team in football in tangerine and white, apart from Holland, but nobody calls it tangerine but us.
Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you, Lee, for coming on. Like I say, your channel is in the title, so do go over and do subscribe, people, and yeah, just let the people know what you've got coming up regarding the lead up to the game.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just the game vlog. I ain't got time to do anything else. Stuff that it takes me enough time as it is. So there'll be a match vlog to watch. You can all, if you win, you can obviously watch us all go through all the pain. And if we beat you, don't watch it because I'll be giving you some stick. Tyler boy, I will be giving you some stick on the video.
Right, come on, boys.
With your prediction, I'll be there. Honestly, I'll mention you in the video. Don't worry if we win.
Oh, right, I'll make a deal with you then. I'll make a deal with you live here. If we win, I'll mention you as well.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks. Hello, Billy C. He's just arrived. We've been on over an hour, so
yeah. No, big up to
everybody's falling to sleep.
Everyone's been a bit shy today of commenting. I know
where have you been, guys? Absolutely, you know, chats was. It's been such a. I've had no stick at all in the chat, which is unusual, but maybe it'll come after.
My chat's all right.
Yeah, see, nice guys. We enjoyed Luton, by the way. When you know that we did a football tourist guide to Luton, and we went to the Bear Club.
Very good video, actually, guys.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. We found the joy in Luton, and we found some great places. But that Bear Club is an amazing jazz club. It's really good. Honestly, it's proper good. So we just saw it. It was just we went to a pub, and Jane was looking at a thing, what's on. She said, oh, the Bear Club, there's something on there. Kim Cypher and this other jazz guy from, it was just fabulous. And yeah, there was even a big, like, sunny March. They were all in tangerine, all in orange and white. It was all very nice. And giving us tea on the way in, serving us tea, and it was great. It was a good day. We enjoyed it. I went to a shisha bar, but I daren't try the shisha thing. And we went to that. It's like the engine or something. Is it a little sort of like takeaway thing? There's like a shisha bar behind it. I don't know if it's still there, but it was
I
good.
believe so. Yeah, I don't actually know myself, to be honest, if it's still there. But yeah, do watch that video, guys.
Yeah, that is not on Lee Charles TV, by the way. That is on the Football Tourist Guide channel, which is something we have. It's still there. I put all the videos on there, but I just can't get motivated to do that. And then they cost so much money. You know, they cost us so much money to go and spend a weekend. You know, and hotels, you know, theaters, all the things that we were doing. It was great. We were trying to show people, you know, things to do if they were, you know, if they like going away like we did, but it's quite a deal to do. So we may get back to it when we're millionaires, Rodders, next year. So my goal is 10,000 subscribers. That's it. If I can get there, I'll just retire. That's it. I'll just hang up my video. But yeah, I've become a videographer since all this. You know, that's my job now. So that's what I do for a living. Because I like it. I like editing and making videos and stuff. So, but I work for a tennis company now. I work for a tennis company doing. I've got a YouTube channel going on that, which I'm doing with the owner, which is called Paddle World. So if you're into paddle tennis, that's my other thing. We're up to 1,400, nearly 1,500 now. We've just been going. I've started about 6-7 months ago with him and building it up. I know what I'm doing. With somebody else, there's more chance with that, you know, because you can review paddle rackets, and he's also a coach, so we can, you know, do paddle lessons and stuff. I know nothing. I can't teach anybody anything. There's nothing I'm good at all. So I couldn't actually have a channel teaching people anything. So
yeah. Well, there you go, people. If you're into your tennis, there's another.
Paddle World. It's called. To check it out.
There you go.
I'm not on it. It's me that makes the videos and does the editors.
But yeah, talking about next year as well. Hopefully, we'll do this again for the reverse fixture. Obviously, when you guys do come to Kenilworth Road, and things like that. So yeah, thank you again for coming on to the channel. And yeah, like I say, may the best team win.
Yeah.
It's
nice to see you again.
It seems that way.
I can't believe I'm actually.
There you go.
I'm scared of me. Well, you're scared of, for God's sake. I'm harmless. Scared of me. Right. Well, okay.
Maybe because you're not quite confident, they might come in and say a prediction, and you might bite at them. They might be a bit scared of that. Who knows?
Yeah, not me. That's not me. I'm all about the fun. I'm all about the banter and the fun, mate. That's what life's about. Enjoy it while you're here. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
As the song goes, yeah. Later than you think. Right.
No, most definitely.
Thank you very much for having me on. Thanks, everyone. All the best to Luton, apart from, you know, only 2 people have typed.
No, the numbers have been good. Appreciate everyone that's tuned in, but yeah, I'd say it's sometimes like that.
You can always comment after anyway. Comment.
Yeah, and loads of people do that. They watch it back after.
Yeah, they watch it on the rerun. Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't really stream on Sunday nights as well, so it's probably that as well.
Yeah, it's a bit out of your normal schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I know an opposition fan like yourself, I will do these in future on Sundays. Obviously, if we play during the week. If not, I'll do them on the Thursdays, because obviously we've got the scheduled days for the Hat shows now. Obviously on Fridays and Mondays. So yeah, like I say, I'll be back again tomorrow with my dad, get his thoughts going into this game, and obviously react to that win against Doncaster. And then yeah, like I say, there'll be a match reaction on Tuesday. So yeah, do tune into that and everything like that. Do check everything else out on the channel if you haven't already. My reaction to yesterday's win, and a couple of YouTube shorts that I have posted the last 24 hours. So yeah, do check all of that out. And again, thank you, Lee, for coming on. Like I say, his channel is in the title, so do go over and do go there. And just quickly, Billy is one of the members. Thank you very much, and he's put you can't quite see it there, Lee.
I
But
can.
you can see the emojis. Can you see the
Oh,
emojis?
no, I can't. No.
Yeah, no, basically, yeah, there's emojis now and stuff that they can put.
Cool. I'll have to have a look at this, by the way. I mean, the other thing, final thought, basically, fans like us, and I classify you in the same sort of thing as us, not glory-seeking fans that could go and watch Arsenal or Tottenham or, one of the big guys. We follow our little teams, our like hometown teams, and we all suffer the same sort of shit.
Yep.
We all go through it. It's just, it's like, we have glory years in the midst of just a load of crap generally, and you just have to like suck it up. And your dad took you to the matches generally, just like my dad took me, and they do it not to ruin your life, but to kind of keep you centered and keep you real and just make it all real. And it means so much more. I still think it does. If you watch your hometown team and they do something spectacular, you get a joy to it that the people that just follow, whatever the latest fashion is, never get. So, I like clubs like yours.
Yep. 100%. Likewise as well. And, just touching on that quickly, I know it's probably the most obvious one, but the playoff final for me, to get into the Premier League, it was unbelievable. I'm not really a person that like will show tears a lot, but obviously because I had to, and it was there.
It's emotional. It's tremendous, but you wouldn't get that if it wasn't in your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to be right in there. And that's what it is for us guys that watch our local teams. That's great. Yeah.
No, 100%.
Biggest respect to you guys, and as I say, may the best team win.
Yep.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for tuning in.
No worries.
All the best, Billy C. Thanks for being brave enough to type.
Comment, yeah. Hopefully when we do it for the reverse fixture, there will be more comments. But yeah, we'll obviously arrange that nearer the time. And I'll say may the best team win. Thank you again, Lee. But yeah, guys, like I say, Hat Show tomorrow. Me and my dad. Smash a like, subscribe, follow me across all my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. Do become a member if you can. It would be much appreciated. Help the channel out. And yeah, until tomorrow for myself, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you again, Lee. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye, everyone.